Hi, this video is to show you how to do your pre-post assessments in the new ALCA system. So you will have gotten an email from me, from Jessica, from Gertola, somebody that gives you some basic instructions, including the address of where you're supposed to go to access this information. That's up here, ssc.alca.is/login. And so your login is going to be your SSC email. It has to all be lowercase. It might try to capitalize the very first letter in your email. Sometimes mine does that. Make sure it's all lowercase. And then the password is all lowercase fall 2021. It has not changed since last year. We're going to sign in. And here's what you're going to see. And we want to switch to assessments up here. And the default is going to be 2021. And so we're going to have to come up here and go to 2022 spring. So again, whatever the semester is, you're going to have to go up there and change that. And then if you don't have an assessment report already created, then you're going to hit plus assessment. And that's going to then already populate your class with your name. You're going to come down and identify the correct semester. You're going to then go to the course that you're assessing. And then under section numbers, you're going to click the actual section numbers of the course. I only had one section of World Lit, but if this were my Comp 2 course, I would have to click 1, 5, 16, and 20, unless they were taught in different methods. And so you're going to see the next part is how it was delivered. So we're only going to report face-to-face classes on one form. So if I were doing Comp 2, which since I taught it in the fall, I don't have to do it again in the spring, and I'm doing face-to-face, then I would only do section 5 and section 20. I would then have to create a new assessment report and do online, and then I would do section 1 and section 16, right? So again, only do online, only do Zoom, only do face-to-face in their own reports. Now I'm going to say not number of students accessed, but students assessed. And so this is actually how many students completed both the pre and the post assessment, right? If you had one person who took the pre-test but did not take the post-test, then you do not assess either of those tests. You just take them out of the mix. And so for my World Lit, or actually, sorry, for this, I had 29 students who took the pre-test, post-test, right? Now here you're going to see that this only says pre-test and post-test. You don't see a place to do the pre-write. If you have a pre-write, some classes may just have the pre and post-test. Most English classes have both. So what you're going to do is always record the pre-test, post-test on row 1. And record all post-write, pre-write, post-write on line 2. And that means that when they're crunching the numbers and they're comparing how we all did, everybody's row 1 will be pre-test, everybody's row 2 will be the right. And so it's really important that you do that. So if you only have a pre-test, that goes in row 1, and then you just ignore any extra rows that you have. If you do have a need of 2 rows, you've got a pre-test, post-test, and a pre-write, post-write, but you only have 1 row, go down here to the notes and then just say pre-write, post-write. All right, and just record them there. I do ask, though, that if you are in that situation where you don't have enough lines to record your assessment, go ahead and do this, but then follow it up with an email to me that lists all of your numbers. You can fill out that course embedded assessment Excel file if you want and email that to me. But again, I want to have a copy of that just in case they don't see the notes, and so I can get my hands on that real quick if they have a question. So once you put in the pretest, so here we're going to use the average score of each, right? We're not going to count how many students passed and how many didn't. We're just going to say for the pretest, what was the average score? So again, for the pretest and comp, oftentimes it's a 0 because they don't know enough about plagiarism. And if they even get one question wrong, they fail it. And so you might put a 0 there. In the post-test, they have to all make 100 on it in order to pass, right? And so that's probably 100, right? Now on the pre-write, post-write, that's probably going to be something again quite different, right? So again, I'm going to take the average. So I'm going to add up all the scores and divide by 100 or whatever the points that it's worth to get that average, right? The math. And then I'm going to hit save, right? Now I'm not going to hit save here because I don't need this one. You can see again here, I only had one report. If you have multiple reports, you're going to see them. So if you have to, you can go back and edit them if you need to, right? So here's what my World Lit assessment looked like. So row 1, pre-test, row 2, pre-test, pre-write, post-write. Again, the averages. You cannot do anything here, so you just leave that blank. Okay, so that's how to fill out the ALCA form. In the email that I sent you, I also sent, or I will be sending you, the course embedded assessment forms that are blank. So this can be a backup. Right now, the assessment committee is telling us that it's better to go ahead and fill this out so that you have a copy of it in case something goes wrong. And so again, this one, you're just going to hit enable editing. You're going to type your name. You're going to type the semester. I only had one class for this one. I'm going to then put ENG 2433. I'm going to put section number 01. I've got a drop down box here. If I have another section, then I'm going to do there. If I have another section there, if you have more than 3 sections, I'm not sure what you're supposed to do. We'll have to find out about that. My course name is World Literature. Okay. My hands are really cold. And then it's online or face-to-face. So I'm going to put face-to-face there. I'm going to put number of students assessed 50 or 5. So my pre-test was like 48 and the post-test was 86. The pre-write was, I think, 27 and the post-write was 78, I believe. And then I'm going to save it. Hit save as. And I believe, I'm not sure, I can't remember the exact format. I tell you how to do that in the email, how you're supposed to save this. Since we're not actually turning this in, I don't think it really matters that you're following a particular name pattern. So I just say, again, McBride, your name, CEA Spring 2022, and that will, be easy. So again, I would go ahead and fill this out and keep it handy. Now, there's another one here. This one is just for English teachers because we have something that we have to do that's different from regular courses. And so here, they're asking you for all of these. Now, the ALCA test only wants to see the average. So I don't think you even have to fill out like the pre-post number for every single question. So again, I would just do first row is pre-test, second row is the pre-write, post-write, right? Because again, that's all you're having to report on the ALCA form. Okay, so this is the email I will be sending you that has all this information as well as a link to this video. So again, email me if you need help. If you don't get a response from me pretty quickly, you can also email Jessica, but please email me first because that's part of my job as vice chair. Good luck. Bye-bye.